Marketing won't fix your cash flow problem. When cash gets tight, most owners panic. They think they need more leads, I need more sales, I need a better funnel. That reaction makes sense on the surface, but it's usually wrong. Or it's usually, if it's not wrong, it's way delayed and it's the wrong timing. Because cash isn't created by marketing. Cash is released by how the business operates. And there are only 5 levers that can generate operating cash flow. That's it, just 5 things. Everything else is noise. Now, we use an acronym called SERPY, which stands for Sales, Expenses, Receivable, Payable, and Inventory Days. So let's talk about the first one, which is sales. Sales is the first lever, but it's the slowest one. It does help over time, but not when you need cash now. Now, I have another video, we'll put a link in that I go through more detail around how to generate more sales. But let's go to E for expenses. Now, that's an obvious lever, and it does usually fix the cash flow relatively quickly. But the real cash drain rarely comes from like big line items. There might be some things, but where the expenses can often fit in there is through inefficiencies or rework. That's often where people get caught, or the slowness of the ability to get the job from the beginning all the way through to the end. These 2 things are what you see on a profit and loss, and they're usually the 2 places people go. But where people miss is they don't go to their balance sheet and they start to look at the next one, which is looking at your receivables or your receivable days. Receivables is where you've done the job, but you haven't been paid yet. And that's where most cash is actually trapped. How long does it take your customers to pay you? And if you can shorten that window, that same business all of a sudden becomes amazingly cash positive. Same revenue, but a lot more cash flow. Let's get to the next one, which talk about payables or payable days. They matter as well. What you want to do here is ethically delay the supplier times as much as you possibly can. And sometimes small businesses struggle with that, but all you have to do, and we've got some great scripts on helping you do that, but you want to have a great relationship with your suppliers when you do that. And the last one is inventory and looking at inventory days. Now, some people who have physical businesses, that's how long things sit on the shelf. You want to have the shortest amount of time that something sits on the shelf. Or if you're a service business, is work in progress. And that is really simple, like how long is it taking you to get through the job? What's your work in progress actually look like? Or the efficiency that you get that done. And operating cash flow is a relationship between all of these. And that's why revenue can rise and yet cash flow can still come down. And people get confused by that. You don't need a funnel hacking genius to help drive more marketing when you want to drive cash flow. You've got all these other 4 levers, and these ones on the balance sheet are the ones that are going to move it even quicker and actually better in the initial. You actually want to move these first before you put any more leads in, otherwise you'll dry up and you won't have any cash. You release cash by going through these levers, and that's how you can make sure you stay in the game. Hit save and watch this again when you have a cash flow problem.